Hello everybody! This video is coming courtesy of good old Mr. Blake, Words DB, and his latest hot lead. I actually tried to make this video last week and ran out of battery. And the week before that it got interrupted, so this is like long overdue take number 3, but we will get through these. I'll put a link down for Blake's video where he talked about a website he had been buying lots of records off of that had old new copies, if you would, still brand new sealed copies of killer jazz records, you know, off of what's it called, Soul Note, you know, labels like Soul Note, Black Saint, Enja, stuff like that. So I went on and I got some, I don't know, I ordered a whole bunch, and then Blake put up a video, and I ended up buying more. Then I ended up making a third buy with stuff that I had put on a list and did some research on. So suffice it to say, I have a lot, so I will try to be quick about this. I'll talk about some, but for the most part, just going to show them. But the first one up, it's what you're hearing in the background. It's The Source by the wonderful Michelle Rosewoman Quartet. I do believe she has a band called Quintessence or something like that. Never really heard of them before, but now I will be looking for them. This is some beautiful, I guess you'd call it spiritual jazz. With the percussion has at times a little bit of like a world flavor to it. Very good stuff. Peter Kuhn Quartet, The Kill. Another off of Soul Note. Scott Henderson and Tribal Tech, Nomad. Still sealed, haven't listened to it yet. The Odeon Pope Saxophone Choir, The Saxophone Shop, another Soul Note. This one is killer. The opening track, The Saxophone Shop, he has like 8 saxophone players all playing in unison. And then the drums kick in, real heavy beat, totally badass. Malasek 1000, the Keshevin Malasek Trio in Holland. Have yet to listen to this one. Mayhem in Our Streets with Keshevin Malasek, Lode Dicker, Mark Miller, and Sonny Murray. This one is so good. Oh man, it's off a private press label, Waterland. So is this one. And I mean, it is just absolutely phenomenal. It kind of goes from like a standard jazz into more avant to almost a bit of free, you know, improvised. Really enjoyed this one. I do believe it's also a live recording. Yes, so pretty damn good. Dave Liebman, Tovin, big band. Haven't cracked this one open yet, but I have just been obsessing over anything I could get Dave Liebman lately. He is just really blowing my mind. I first found out about him through a Bard or Baird Hersey record, Year of the Ear. He played on it and I was real impressed, and I've just been looking for him lately. So very happy to get that one, and also got this one, Pendulum, the Dave Liebman Quintet. Very good record. This one came with a little booklet that had some beautiful artwork. Look at that. Really damn cool. But really enjoyed this one. It has a fantastic cover of Footprints by Wayne Shorter on there. Enja release, Mitch Watkins, Underneath It All. This has a very sort of synthesized 80s sound to it. A little cheesy, but the musicianship is just stellar. Really enjoyed this one. George Lewis and Douglas Ewart off of the wonderful Black Saint. This one is just total improvised, free jazz, if you would. At least that's the feeling I get listening to it. They just play beautifully off each other. Don Poulin, Healing Force. Capricorn Rising, Don Poulin with Sam Rivers. This one I had to go back. This is the one Blake was playing on his video, and oh man, it is just fantastic. Joyzy Girl, the opening track on the B-side, has a very spiritual feel to it. But the rest of the album is just, like a free jazz monster. Love it. This is one I got because Dave Liebman is on it. David Liebman with Jeff Palmer, John Abercrombie. Very excited when I saw that because I didn't know it. And Adam Nussbaum. This album is unusual to the ear because of the instrumentation. You have Jeff Palmer doing Hammond electric organ and bass pedals. John Abercrombie, of course, on guitar, but instead of guitar, he's playing guitar synthesizer. So you get lots of weird, unusual sounds. Really dig it. Dave Liebman, of course, is on soprano saxophone, and Adam Nussbaum on drums. This is like it borders between electronic and more of a natural what's the word I'm looking for? Acoustic jazz sound. Really dig this one. The Hammond organ is just fantastic, and John Abercrombie on the guitar synthesizer just blew me away. Really enjoyed it. The Sun Ra Orchestra, Hours After, off of Black Saint. This is one I already had, but get a sealed copy. I think it was like $4. Why the hell not? Looking for that groove. Bard Hershey or Beard Hershey. I don't know how you want to pronounce it. I pronounce it Bard. But Bard Hershey in the Year of the Year. Very good. Mulhall Richard Abrams off of Black Saint. This one is just fantastic. You have Anthony Braxton on this one, and also Henry Threadgill. Two people I really enjoy. Another off of Black Saint, Sam Rivers, Winds of Manhattan. Wonderful colors. When it says Winds of Manhattan, it's literally because it's all woodwinds. It's saxophones and flute and nothing else. Totally awesome. Another off of the Killer Engine label, Lenny Stern, I want to say, Lenny Stern, Secrets. Really didn't care for this one too much. Unfortunately, it's not a bad record. It's just nothing caught my attention. Let's put it that way. Listen to the Silence, George Russell. Oh, beautiful gatefold. Look at that artwork. This album is like, how do you describe it? It's orchestrated jazz, and there's a choir that's singing, and the choir almost has this sort of doom and gloom feeling to it, like it's the end of the world, and they'll be singing, and then the band kind of kicks in, and then they fade out, and the singing keeps going, then the singing fades, and the band kicks in. Really enjoyed it, and it's got some just phenomenal players on here. You have Arild Anderson, Turge Ripdahl, Bobo Stenson, Stanton Davis, Jan Garbarek, George Russell, of course, and Jan Christensen. I mean, just stellar musicians. Another George Russell, Electronic Sonata, For Souls Loved by Nature, 1980. I have the original Electronic Sonata, have yet to spin this one, so I probably should compare the two, but Vertical Form 6, a composition for jazz orchestra by George Russell. Picked up all the George Russells I could find because I just totally dig this guy. This one has way too many people playing on it. There's like 20 musicians on here. Really good. I want to say it's a live recording. Yes, live radio broadcast. And the thing that stood out the most to me on this is the Fender Rhodes, or the electric piano playing. Got a little funky at times. Really enjoyed it. Oh, Shades of Change off Enja with David Freeman, Jerry Allen, the divine Anthony Cox, and Ronnie Barrage. Really enjoyed this one. This has that sort of wonderful classical acoustic jazz sound that it just, you know, when you listen to it, it's like, oh, yes, that's what I want. And it had a sort of ECM feel to it, but just totally just stellar record. Really enjoyed it. Gary Thomas and Seventh Quadrant, Code Violations. I think, oh yeah, Anthony Cox is also on bass for this one. And this, again, has sort of, there's a lot of synthesizer work on it, which is just that horrible, abrasive, you know, early digital sound that I don't like. But other than that, it is a fantastic record. Fantastic. Gary Thomas does tenor saxophone and flute. Really good record. I suggest picking it up even with those crappy synthesizers. This is one that Blake suggested I get, so I did. Bert Wilson and Rebirth, the next Rebirth. And it is killer. I'm happy I picked it up. It has a lot of like a Latin samba flavor going on. Really enjoyed it. These two I picked up because can't even think. Vernon Reid. Vernon Reid is on them, who I just favorite guitarist. For those of you who don't know, Dawson's middle name is Reid, after Vernon Reid. So I couldn't do Vernon. Vernon? Ugh. So Dawson Reid. But nonetheless, first one up, Ronald Shannon Jackson, the Decoding Society. Eye on You. Blake called this an almost monster. I will agree with him. It is really good. Drum-driven, funky jazz going on. Really enjoyed it. And again, you know, the wonderful, there he is, Vernon Reid. Just love the guy. Just love him. And this one also, Vernon Reid was on it. Never heard of the guy. Jay Hogarth, Riverside Dance. He plays vibes and marimba. There's one track on here, Ojala, which Vernon just, you know, really shines. It's guitar driven. And another one on this is they did a cover of Brilliant Corners by Monk. And it's not a bad record, but at times it kind of puts me to sleep. Off of a label I never heard of, India Navigation, 1985. Pretty good. Whew. This is by far, hands down, flat out, the single best record that I scored out of the whole bunch. And I mean, it has some killer artwork. The name, when I was looking about, I had found it and the name just stuck out to me. Waterland Ensemble. Album is Domesticated Doomsday. Look at that artwork. Oh, it is just beautiful. And I'm going to go back and buy a couple more copies of this. That's how good it is. I mean, this is it's a live recordio. It's a live radio recording. Trio. You have Loke Dicker on piano, Leo Van Ostrom on alto saxophone and soprano saxophone, and Pierre Corbois, if I pronounce it right, doing percussion drums. And this album, it goes from an almost standard jazz to a high avant, orchestrated music, or to a total improvised free jazz back into like a standard. It is utterly phenomenal, and it's all acoustic, and it's just got that sound that just appeals to me so much. And it's probably the best trio music I've ever heard. and the piano playing. It's not only did they impress me as a band. I'm sorry, I love this album so much. I'm stumbling over myself. I can't even get the right words out. Not only did they impress me as a group, as a whole, as a band, but they also really impressed me individually when they soloed and they went off. The piano throughout this has a very classical feel to it, and he'll be soloing with these big, moving classical, piano, and then in between that, like soloing with jazz notes. Really cool. And the saxophone playing on this is phenomenal. Squeaks and squalls to standards to speedy fastness to beautiful softness, and the drumming is just when when the drummer starts going at it, it gets your attention. This album, I could spend a whole damn video talking about it, but I'm not. I'm gonna shut up. So just once again, look at that sexy ass artwork. Already got it in a Blake sleeve. And I will probably go back and buy another one of this just because, maybe 2 or 3 copies. But Barry Altschul Quartet, Irina. Another Barry Altschul Quartet Quintet. That's nice. Both off of Soul Note. Haven't listened to this one yet, but it's Chico Friedman featuring Von Friedman. What is it? You'll know when you get there. Oh, these two were really good. It's the Fred Hoon and the Afro-Asian Music Ensemble. Tomorrow is Now off Soul Note. Really dug that one. And this one is We Refuse to Be Used and Abused. Very good sort of medium ensemble music. This one I got because Don Poulin's on it, but I don't know the guy. It's Marcelo Mellis. Angelros. Don't know it. With Don Poulin, Sandro Sata, and Don Moya. Haven't listened to it, so can't say very much. Got this one just because of the name. Flute Talk. Love me some flute with Buddy Collette featuring James Newton. Bohemia. Got this one because Vic Juris and John Etherbridge. Listen to a little bit of this. It's sort of generic, but I enjoyed it. Rainbow Gladiator, the Billy Bang Quintet. Haven't listened to this one yet, but I am really excited too. This one has the beautiful Michelle Rosewoman on it, which we're still listening to. Another off of Soul Note, Mal Waldron and David Friesen, Dedication. Haven't spun this one, so can't really talk about it. Another Barry Altschul Trio, Barry Altschul Trio, featuring Ray Anderson and Mark Helios, Somewhere Else. This record I already have, but for a sealed copy, I figured, let's just get another one. Who the hell cares? Sealed. I think it was only $4. Can't beat that price. Magic Theater, Barry Miles and Silverlight. Killer, fantastic record. And last, finally we're there. The last one, Fusion Is with Barry Miles. This one has Vic Juris on guitar. And he was just ripping it up. Total Vic Juris rippage on this record. Really enjoyed it. It's off a label I never heard of. Gifrun? Or Gryphon. Excuse me. Gryphon. What am I trying to think of? Barry Miles, he plays keys, keyboards, Moog, and it has that sort of classic fusion sound, jazz and rock, very fast, heavy. Really enjoyed this record. Very cool to add it to my Barry Miles collection, which I really don't have very much. I only have this, so well, now I have that one, but I definitely need to get more Barry Miles. He was the keyboard player on several of Al Di Meola's early records. So. And I love Al Di Meola, so you can't go wrong. Cannot go wrong. But those are all of my finds. Obviously, I spent a lot. And like I said, I have a small list of things that I'm going to go back and get again. And I've already gotten, you know, doubles of some, like this one right here. This one's so fucking good. I just had to get another sealed copy of it. You know, so I will probably be getting you know, doubles of some, and a few more that I know I'm looking out for. I found one. It's the microscopic. What was it? The microscopic quintet or septet? Septet. The microscopic septet. I gotta look out for that one. I know, and a few more, but. Definitely check out Blake's video if you haven't. There will be a link. And thank you guys for sticking with me. And until next time.